beliefs inform not only our behaviours and our thoughts, but our reality. How many of us are held back from our full potential by the limiting beliefs we created for ourselves as children in an effort to make sense of the world around us?
In this episode, we chat to the fantastic and fascinating Shelly Lefkoe of the Lefkoe Institute about the power of beliefs and the incredible impact of eliminating those beliefs that are holding us back. Listen as Shelly guides Claire through eliminating belief around scarcity and money and learn how you can do this for yourself. This episode is a game changer, and we know we'll have Shelly back soon for more on this fascinating topic. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. How are you all? So this is actually going to go live whilst we're on holiday, I do believe.
We have not been on holiday for years, so very excited.
We actually haven't been on holiday since we've been together. Not properly. Not a proper holiday.
No,
and that's 8 years.
There was one, but it didn't work out very well, did it?
It did not work out well.
Croatia trip.
James surprised me, and he wasn't. We were very early on in the relationship, and you didn't know me that well. And
it sounded good on paper. It was a remote island with a festival that combined like music at night and well-being in the day, but it's just all a bit of a car crash when we got there.
It was all a bit odd. Anyway, so we are going on. We're on holiday when this goes live, but we're very excited to go and spend some time with each other and have a digital, if I can get the words out, detox. Very excited.
And we are so excited for the guests, because I know for many of our listeners, and this is something we bang on about all the time, by far the biggest obstacle you're going to come across is your own mind, your limiting beliefs, that ability we all have to self-sabotage, to undo all our good efforts, which is why we are so focused on, working on the mind all the time. But we've got today the amazing Shelly Lefkoe of the Lefkoe Institute. Hello, Shelly.
Hello.
Hi, I'm so excited that you're going on holiday.
Oh, bless you.
You have to tell me later where.
Oh, bless you. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the Lefkoe method and how it came about, Shelly?
Sure. My late husband was on a what he called a spiritual intellectual journey to discover why people knew what to do and didn't do it, or didn't know what to do and kept doing it. So for instance, we all know that if we eat healthily and we exercise, we'll not only live longer, but we'll feel better. And we don't, many of us don't do it. Some of us get into relationships going in knowing it's the wrong person, and yet we still go into the relationship. So he was fascinated and stuck in his own life, and he had done everything from primal scream to God knows what, to transformation, blah, blah, blah. And if any of you listening have ever had the experience of taking a workshop, coming out and knowing what to do and going, oh my God, that was amazing. I just did this course and it was amazing. And I have all these notes. And 3 days later, the notes are in the drawer and nothing has changed. So I just did a summit and there were hundreds of people on. And when I asked that question, everybody was in the chat going, me. So it's very, very, very common. We read books, we try to make change, and change doesn't happen. So my husband was on a plane to California. We lived in New York at the time. And he started journaling. And he was a genius, but of course he says he downloaded it because he was very modest. And so he, at the end of the journey, he had this bones of this process. And he was pitching an account to help the state of California get people off unemployment and back into work. And they wanted a motivational speaker. And he did the process with the people. And he came up with the theory that 30 years ago, Claire and James, people, we used to say we help people eliminate beliefs. And they would say, beliefs? You mean like religious beliefs? Like, what do you mean? 30 years later, everybody knows you can't make change without changing beliefs. So that's how, so we got the gig, and they were supposed to see 3 other people that they didn't see because the process worked. And he came home, this is the best part of the story, and a friend of ours was at the house, and he said, I have to show you what I created. And he did the belief process, which I'll tell you what it is in a minute. He helped her eliminate the belief. He asked her what she said, I want to meet somebody and get married again. And I just keep meeting people who are unavailable. And he said, what do you believe that might have that happen? And she said, well, marriage is suffocating and you have to give yourself up in relationships, and men are selfish, and
and it went on and on.
And it went on and on. And that's one of my favorite questions when I'm working with people on relationship issues is I ask them, what do you believe about men? And they just go, "Bleh." And if they believe there's good ones, the belief is the good ones are all taken.
Yes. How many times have we heard that?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to tell you in a second what I mean by a belief, and I'll explain the process. So he picked one belief and he helped her eliminate it. And I sat there, guys, and I watched him do this process. And it was this like lightning bolt came from heaven. And I went, oh my God, that's why I'm on the planet, to do that. It was one of those, spiritual moments in life where you just go, wow. And it was interesting because it took us a long time to learn how to really train people to do this. And I just went, and it was mine. It was mine. And I've been doing it for over 30 years. I have clients in every country around the world. We've created a program, which I'll talk about later, which allows people to do it who might not have access to individual sessions. And we want this to be available to everybody. And I'm going to make it available for free. So anyway, so that's how it got started.
Wow.
Amazing.
I love that story. I love the fact that your husband, he was like, he downloaded it somehow. Yeah, he was a genius. He came up with it. He downloaded it. Because I often feel like inspiration, we can feel like it does come from within, but also sometimes there is this external thing. We feel we've just like actually accessed something.
Yeah.
So I love the story of the foundation there and the work in California. That's amazing.
Yeah. So the first thing is the premise of our work is that it's your beliefs about yourself and life, most of which are unconscious. You don't even know you have these beliefs, but they totally determine our behavior, our emotions, and ultimately our reality. So what shows up, right? And it's very interesting. I love the name of your podcast because the midlife mentors, right? So I say, 50 is halfway home, right? I'm kind of way past halfway home. And I get up every morning and I work out. So the truth is now I play pickleball because I'm totally addicted. Has pickleball got to England yet?
No, what is pickleball?
Oh, so pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America. It has taken the country by storm. It is the funnest, most addicting, easy to do, hard to master sport. So what it is it's basically a combination of tennis, ping pong, and badminton. So it's tennis on a smaller court with paddles instead of rackets and a wiffle ball instead of tennis ball. Just Google it. It is.
Oh, sounds fun.
The movie stars are playing, old people are playing, everybody's playing. Yes.
We have not heard of this. It's called pickleball.
Pickleball.
What an amazing name.
It will get there, I promise.
Well, I'm going to Google it straight after this.
You heard it here, everyone that's in the UK. It's going to hit us by storm.
Get ready. Yeah. So obviously, I lost my husband 7 years ago. He passed. And I am waiting for the whole next second act, right? I want to meet a fabulous, conscious, awake man who's fit and alive and vibrant. I have a full life. I'm not sitting home waiting for him. I play pickleball. I have friends. I go out. And here's the thing. We have a process that we do, not a process, but a kind of thing that we do on everybody's birthday here in Marin County, California. And it is called What I Love About You. So people look at you and they go, what I love about you is, and one of the things that my friend said to me was, what I love about you is that you're a yes. And for all of those midlife listeners, be a yes. Life is like a yardstick. I used to tell my kids, life is like a yardstick. Most people live 2 feet 11 3/4 inches. What life's about is the last quarter of an inch. Yeah. And I'm going to say one more thing about that. And then I'm going to tell you what I mean by belief. You must water all the plants of your life. So if you have, I have these gorgeous flowers on my deck, and I would never water just one, right? Because the other ones would die. So when you look at the plants, your health, your relationships, your career, your children, your hobbies, your free time, those plants all have to be alive and vibrant. And it is our beliefs which keep us from doing that, because we only focus on what we're really good at. So if we're really good at relationships, we have lots of friends and lots of relationships, but your career is suffering. If you're a workaholic and you have the belief, what makes me good enough are my achievements, then your career is going to flourish, but all the other areas of your life are wilting. So we want to look at intentionally watering every plant and then looking at what's in the way. So a belief is a statement about reality that you hold as the truth. That's a belief. Beliefs are not, I think, sometimes, maybe. Beliefs are, and I'm going to tell you the most 5 common beliefs that people have. I'm not good enough. I don't know anybody that didn't have that when they came to me. And I have clients in Saudi Arabia. I have clients in Uganda. I have a client in where's the new one? Some country, I can't even remember the name of it, but every country in the world. Okay. Everybody has the belief I'm not good enough, pretty much. I'm not important. Mistakes and failures are bad. Even if you've read every business book to the contrary, when you make a mistake or fail, do you say, way to go, Claire? Good job, James. Or do you beat yourself up?
Yeah.
So if you beat yourself up, you believe mistakes and failures are bad. And in today's world, you ain't getting any place with that belief. If I make a mistake or fail, I'll tell, it's England. Richard Branson says, if you're not failing a lot, you're going to be mediocre. Because if you're not failing, you're doing what you did yesterday, and you'll never be successful doing what you did yesterday.
There's actually a quote attributed to Winston Churchill, and he said, "Show me a man who hasn't failed, and I'll show you a man who has never tried."
Perfect. I'll use that one. So there's millions of quotes like that. If I make a mistake or fail, I will be rejected.
Yes.
And here's the big one. This is the one that ran my life, that when I got rid of this belief, guys, I became my authentic self. I spoke in Croatia in front of 600 people. And if you think I got on that stage thinking everybody was going to love me, I didn't, because I am not everybody's cup of tea, you know, and I'm open to feedback always, but I no longer define myself by what anybody thinks. I'm good. Now, you have something you want. It is the most freeing experience, because I used to walk away going, oh, did they like me? And what did I say? And did I finish my sentence? And are they going to ask me back?
So what was the belief you did have?
Yep.
Then, so what was that? If you could put that into a statement like you have the other ones, what was the statement that used to be true?
Thank you. This is the last belief of the 5. What makes me good enough is having other people think well of me.
Yeah.
So here's the beach ball. I'm not good enough, right? What makes me good enough is, as long as people think well of me, I'm good enough. But if it's like holding a beach ball underwater, so the beach ball keeps popping up. What makes me good enough is achieving things. So I had a client tell me, I'm on the cover of business publications. I'm worth 10 million pounds. It was dollars.
Yeah.
I'm worth $10 million. I don't know my kids. My wife's ready to leave me. When is it going to be enough?
Yeah. When is it enough?
Yeah.
So never, because I'm not good enough is going to keep rearing its head. Why? Because having people think well of you, or achieving things, or taking care of people, or pleasing people is never getting rid of this. So when you do our work, which I'm going to tell you how to get rid of, I'm not good enough for free. So when you get rid of this, now you get rid of this, now I can just be me. I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to live up to expectations. And that's
the holy grail, right?
It is.
It's the holy grail of I can just take my space in this world. I can own my space in this world, and I can be peaceful with who I am, showing up as that version of me, and don't need other people to validate me. It's the holy grail, isn't it?
It is.
I was going to say, it's interesting, like how many of those beliefs, if you actually look at them, are wrapped up in what we term like the ego consciousness, right? So it's all that I value myself based on what other people, how I feel other people are appraising me. So it's that kind of, I don't want to be rejected, so I need to be liked, I need to be popular, I want to make sure I've done a good job, I don't want to fail. It's all that kind of ego thinking. This is like, I love this, because it's about kind of divorcing from the ego, because that is what really sets us free.
Yeah. And then we've got the whole social media world, haven't we, that has just exploded into our life, that makes it even the lie that we are only of value based on how many people like our posts.
Yep. I just read an article yesterday about the young people.
Yeah.
And that's their measure, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking that people talk, these young people, you're talking to me and all of a sudden I go,
yeah, on their phones. And you know, we see couples out for dinner, and we see this all the time. We were of the generation that we didn't grow up with that. Yes, we're still addicted. I'm still, hands up, still way more addicted to my phone than I would like to be. But you know, I go out for dinner with James, I'm not sitting on my phone, but all the younger generation are sitting there on Instagram or TikTok, and they don't speak a word to each other in 2 hours.
The belief is it's okay.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, I'm a parenting advocate. I have a parenting course, and because I've been listening to how these beliefs get formed, which I want to tell you in a minute, because I want everybody to understand something very powerful. But it was my late husband and I having brunch at a restaurant, and sitting outside very close to me is a woman, a young woman with a young child in a stroller. And the child is going, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And she's going, "What, darling? Yeah, I'm listening." And I normally don't say anything because it's obnoxious, but I said to her, "I'm a parenting educator. Would you mind just a little piece of coaching?" And she goes, "Sure." I said, "What do you think your child is going to conclude if she can't get your undivided attention?" And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, I hate when my husband does that to me." I said, "Really?" I said, "What do you feel?" And she said, "Not important." And I said, "That is what your child will conclude. I'm not important."
And this feeling of rejection, right? It's like, you're not important, and I'm being rejected by someone, my caregiver, the one that I look to at that age. That's your world, and they can't even be bothered to look up from their phone. Or worse, they give their child a phone as well. So we've seen that.
We saw that on the beach, a couple, and the child was no older than 3, maybe like between 2 and 3. And it was sat there, totally absorbed in a screen, and they were ignoring it. And I was just like, what's that going to do for the child's development and its interpersonal capabilities?
Yeah. So we come into this world as a little ball of consciousness. And we don't know if we're good enough or not, smart or not. We don't know if money is scarce and hard to get, if the world is safe or dangerous, if life is hard or easy. We don't know anything about something called a mistake. So we look around at our little world, as you said, Claire, our world, and our world view is mom and dad, or dad and dad, or mom and mom, or whatever your parents were. And I ask people, when your child comes home at the end of the day, when you come home at the end of the day, what does your child do when they see you? My client in Uganda said, "Run to me." And I said, "And what do they want?" Affection, attention, and acknowledgement. Now, you don't have kids, right?
No.
I'm going to ask you a question, show you how powerful this is. What's the one-word question every 3 or 4-year-old asks all day long?
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
And you don't even have kids, and you know this. Right?
Why?
Why?
But mummy, why? But mummy, why?
Why?
Daddy, why?
Why? Why can't I have dessert? Why do you have to go to work? Why are you criticizing me? Why can't I live up to your expectations? Oh, I see. Very powerful. I see I'm not good enough. Why are you working all the time and you're never here? Oh, I see I'm not important. Why is mommy and daddy struggling and they can't pay the bills? Oh, I see money is scarce and hard to get. Okay. And why our beliefs stay with us through all the courses and all the 10 years of therapy and all the evidence to the contrary. I had 5 Harvard PhDs who had the belief I'm stupid.
Wow.
Here's why. We think we saw our belief in the world. It is impossible to not believe something you think you saw.
Ooh.
Shelly's a blonde. What would you say if somebody told you that?
So yeah, you are a blonde.
No. Okay. I'm sorry. I've red hair.
Oh, I can't see that.
Okay.
We're actually,
So
anyone listening, we're actually on Zoom at the same time, but Shelly does look blonde on Zoom. But
okay. So if somebody said Shelly does not wear glasses, what would you say?
I'll say she does wear glasses.
That's not true. She does wear glasses.
Nope, she doesn't. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Right? You would fight to the death.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can't not believe something you think you
Same.
saw. So when I say to Harvard PhDs, did you ever see I'm stupid? They said, yes, every day of my life. And I go back, and what our process does is it breaks it up as the truth. And we look at other interpretations. And then what they get is, I never saw I'm stupid. Because again, we have no video, right? This is only
No,
audio.
it won't be on video. And I just wanted to say to listeners, so Shelly was wearing her glasses, and because we'd seen the glasses and then she took them off, Shelly was basically saying that we would fight to death because we saw her with glasses, and that's what we had seen.
Yeah, and I wish you would have told me that so I didn't get up this morning and put on makeup. And
Oh,
But
Shelly!
you look amazing.
You look amazing. Amazing.
Okay. So,
we would have
so I
accepted
want
you however you came to us, Shelly.
Okay. So I'm going to do this differently. Everybody listening, I want you to look at something in the room that you're in. Does it have a color, shape, and location? Yes? So anything you could see has a color, shape, and location.
Yeah.
You cannot see, I'm not good enough. You can see your parents criticizing you, saying, getting angry with you, getting impatient with you. I can see your parents roll their eyes, or, like I could see my daughter that, got impatient when I was there last time. And she looked at my grandson and she said, dude, this was the best. This was the best. So my daughter's a wonderful, wonderful mother, very conscious, knows what to do. And none of us are perfect parents. So we took my grandson to I don't remember what botanical gardens and the water park and blah, blah, blah. And she asked him to do something and he didn't do it. And we're in the car and she says, she said something to him and he answered her. He's 9 years old. And she says, oh, thanks, Mom, for everything you did today. I'm really so grateful. To which my 9-year-old grandson goes, Mom, you're shaming me.
Wow. Wow.
Brilliant.
What did you do? Did you have to just keep your mouth shut, or did you say something?
It's like, no, of course, I said.
Yeah.
Loki, I said, you communicated how you felt and what you wanted. I said, that's awesome. Oh, so but the weird thing is I'm always making sure he's not concluding negative beliefs. So I'll say to him, mommy's impatient, or, when she leaves, I said, honey, she gets impatient with me. It's not you. But shaming, never said that to him in my life. I have no idea where it came from. But it shows you that a child who wasn't raised like that would just be shamed and conclude, I'm bad.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate my mother. I'm bad, right? And because our parents are everything, like you said, they are the world. There's no distinction between my parents and the world. So if my parents are struggling, life must be hard because they seem to know everything. They seem really smart. So if they can't figure it out, I guess life is hard.
So what we experience in childhood causes us to construct beliefs so we make sense of the world in some way. So could you maybe talk us through then how your method works to change those beliefs, challenge them and change them?
Well, we don't change them, we eliminate them.
Or eliminate them, sorry, challenge and eliminate.
Yeah. So to talk about it, first of all, I just did, and I'll say it again, but I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to eliminate one of the 3 most common beliefs for free. So you'll be walked through it. But basically, it's not like I can say to you, here's how you do it. I wish I could. I can tell you something else and leave you with something that's very, very, very profound and life-changing. And it's a tool. But with beliefs, you have to know what your pattern is. So a pattern is observable. In other words, I can see you procrastinate. I can see you get into relationships that are not loving. I can see you not speaking up for yourself. I can see you kind of not going for it in life. I can see you working all the time. I can see those are patterns, okay? The beliefs underlie or cause the patterns. So the first thing we do is we start with a pattern. What do you want to change? What are the plants that aren't being watered or that aren't, the water is toxic? What's happening with your plants, right? So people come and they say, I want to start a new business and I don't. I procrastinate or I'm afraid and so then we look at what are the beliefs that underlie that pattern. And in each session, we can eliminate between 1 and 5 beliefs. And I say eliminate. I don't mean bang or bust or all the things people say. Eliminate it permanently. So we look at where the belief came from, what happened, what are some other ways to interpret the same events. So the fact that you failed in school and your parents were upset about it could mean you're stupid, and it could mean you were in a not very good school system. You're one of 20 kids and you're maybe not learning in your learning style. And, it could mean that your system was stupid, not you, and your parents didn't know how to empower you. So we just kind of look at other interpretations. And then you get, if there are other interpretations, is what you said the truth or just one? And it's obviously just one. And then the question, doesn't it seem like you saw, I don't know if yours is money is scarce and hard to get. Doesn't it seem like you saw that?
Yes.
Did you ever see money is scarce and hard to get?
No, not in the way you've just described it as a physical object.
But see, those are all qualifiers. How do you see anything? Can you see this?
My eyes, exactly, with my eyes.
But anything I hold up, you can see.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's no, did you ever see, not this way or not that, did you ever see money is scarce and hard to get?
No.
So
no.
Good. Can't see that. But what did you see?
I saw the bits around that with my family being very upset when my dad lost his job and then having to go out and sell double glazing, and how my dad was never then around. And that's me interpreting.
Wait. So that's what you saw. Your dad lost his job and had to do double glazing, and then he was never around, and your parents struggling. That's anybody watching a video can see that. Now, I jumped in the middle of the process, so I hope this works. Where was money is scarce and hard to get? If it wasn't out there to be seen, where was it?
In here.
Where?
It was in the...
No, where was money is scarce and hard to get? Is it in your heart? If I open you up, is it in your chest?
No, it's in my head.
Yes.
It's in my head.
Yes.
Me interpreting
Yes.
that as truth.
Events.
Yes.
Events. It's
Yes.
you interpreting the events.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the only place money is scarce and hard to get ever existed was in your mind.
Yes.
You made that up,
Yes.
like any kid would have in those circumstances,
Yes.
which is why I know what everybody believes. All I have to do is hear their childhood.
Mm.
You ready for something really cool?
I love this. This is so juicy. Juicy, juicy. Yes.
Juicy, juicy. So are we okay on time?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're
okay,
good.
good. Okay, good. So I'm going to make a distinction. Consequences versus meaning. The consequences of your father losing his job is he wasn't around. You probably didn't have a lot of the things that you wanted. Your parents struggled. I'm not minimizing the consequences, okay? But I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want you to answer it because I want everybody listening to get this. What does it really mean? So you said it means, well, this must mean money is scarce and hard to get. What does it really mean that your father lost his job and your parents struggled and he was then not around? Okay, now don't answer. Everybody listening, if you walk, and I want you to answer this one. If you are in a room and somebody you know comes in and doesn't listen, what might you automatically think?
That I'm not important. I'm being
Okay,
ignored.
what might you think?
Yeah, that I'm not good enough to be listened to.
Good. So for those of you who answered the question, they're rude. They're preoccupied. I did something wrong. They don't like me. Where did those meanings come from?
Oh, we construct them in our own minds.
Beautiful.
Fill in the blanks.
Okay, so Claire, stay with me now, because I want you to do this, and anybody listening can do this. Meaning is in your mind. Good, James. If meaning is in your mind, do events have inherent meaning? Do events have meaning before you give them meaning?
No.
No. Events have no meaning. That's not to say it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. Who cares anyway? The only thing that tells us is we don't know anything for sure because something happened. My husband died. Devastating. I was very sad. I cried a lot. But when I didn't want to get out of bed, I did this process I'm going to teach you in a minute. What happened? My husband died. What meaning are you giving it? I'm going to starve to death. I don't know how to run a business. 7 years later, my business is flourishing. Okay. So it didn't mean I was going to starve to death. Next day, I don't want to get out of bed. What happened? My husband died. What meaning am I going to give it? I'm going to never be happy again. Well, my girlfriend, Marcy Scheimoff, called me and she said, I'm going to make sure that you still are happy and have fun. And she would call me and say, let's go see, I'm taking you to see Diana Ross. I'm taking you to see the Beach Boys. I'm taking you, and she did that for a long time and still does it. So it didn't mean that. So the fact that he died was very sad and there was consequences. I don't have him. I have, but it doesn't mean anything. We don't know anything for sure because something happens. So what does it mean? And I'm going to teach you something in a minute that is going to, if you do it, it will change your life. What does it mean that your father lost his job and your parents struggled with money? What do I know for sure other than that?
What do I know for sure?
What meaning does it have? Don't tell. James knows.
Yeah. The meaning, the actual meaning that it had is my dad just lost his job and that happens.
So what's the meaning? What's the inherent meaning?
That I made on it, or that the
No, the real meaning, the meaning in the events. Does it mean money is scarce and hard to get?
No.
Does it mean anybody who loses their job is going to struggle?
No.
Does it mean men can hold down jobs?
That's a great one. No.
Does it mean anything?
No. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's only the meaning that I put on it.
No. See, everybody has to go there. They can't.
Yeah.
Watch. Here's the events. You put meaning on the events, right? You said what that means is money is scarce and hard to get. Is that meaning now in the events, or is it still in your head?
Still in my head.
Good. So what meaning do the events have?
None.
None. Events have no meaning, period. Now, doesn't it seem like you didn't expect this, right?
No, I love it. I love it. I love the unexpected.
Good. Doesn't it seem like those events made you feel like money was scarce and hard to get?
Yes.
Can events that have no meaning make you feel anything?
No.
No. If something has no meaning, you're walking down the street, a man walks past you, it has no meaning, what are you going to feel? If a man walks past you and it has no meaning, what are you going to feel?
Nothing.
If you give it the meaning he's dangerous, what will you feel?
Fear.
If you give it the meaning he'll protect me, what will you feel?
Comfort.
So events that have no meaning cannot make you feel anything, and no event has meaning. So what made you feel like money was scarce and hard to get?
What I thought that I saw, but it was actually how I felt.
No. What produced the feeling?
The behaviours of my
The
parents.
behaviors
My
had no meaning.
interpretation. My interpretation gave me the feeling.
So the meaning, huh?
Loving watching this.
Yeah.
I love this.
So the meaning you gave the events caused your feeling.
Yes.
Now watch this. Close your eyes. Imagine Auntie Shelly is there.
I do feel like you're my Auntie Shelly.
And I say to you, Claire, my little angel. Let me tell you something. Your father's beliefs are causing his problems. And when somebody loses their job, they can use it as an opportunity to start their business. There are people who money just flows to. And when you grow up, I bet you're going to be one of those people that money just comes to you, right? I told my daughter that the child has the best money karma in the world. So imagine you're giving the same events different meaning. Oh, I see, Auntie Shelly. My money is scarce and hard to get from my parents because of their beliefs, but there's lots of people who money just flows to. I'm going to be one of them. And as you're giving the same events that meaning, do you still have the feeling that money is scarce and hard to get? And if you didn't then, would you today? Good. Now take a deep breath. Say money is scarce and hard to get.
Money is scarce and hard to get.
How does it feel when you say those words?
Tightening.
How? How does it feel?
Tight.
It does? Okay. The belief did not go away. Did you ever see money is scarce and hard to get?
No.
So if you never saw it, how do you know it's true?
I don't.
Good. Take a deep breath. Say money is scarce and hard to get.
Money is scarce and hard to get.
How does it feel?
Like I'm laughing. It feels lighter. It feels lighter. I can't actually explain it, Shelley, how that feels.
Yeah. Does it feel true?
No.
Good. Doesn't feel tight, right?
No.
Good. So open your eyes. That's what, when people eliminate a belief, it's people. So there's a belief, I'm not worth loving. It is the one belief that people cry when they say it, or I say I'm not worth loving, and they go, and they can't. And I say, you don't have to say it. I just want you to get how it feels to even say it. And at the end, I say, take a deep breath, say I'm not worth loving. And they go, I'm not worth loving. That is ridiculous. And they're laughing.
Yeah, the laughing. It's the laughing. It's the laughing, actually. It was the kind of, well, doesn't that, it's actually that. It's like, doesn't that sound ridiculous? Doesn't that sound ridiculous?
That's exactly right. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? That's the phrase that I hear that's going to be on my tombstone.
And it's laughable. And I can't explain like how that it feels to laugh at something so ridiculous. Thank you. You wonderful woman. Thank you, Auntie Shelley. Thank you, Auntie Shelley. I wish you had been around when I was a little girl, but you're here now when I'm aged 43. So thank you.
Do you know that if I had one population to work with, it would be sexual abuse survivors? Because when they get rid of beliefs like I'm powerless, I'm damaged goods, I'm worthless, and then you take them through the process, they get rid of a couple of beliefs, and then you ask them, what does it mean that happened? Wasn't fun. I wish it didn't happen to you. I have great compassion. But if you walked away from being sexually abused saying, that sucked, geez Louise, I'm going to go find healthy, functional people now, would that run your life? Would it define you if you walked away giving it no meaning?
And how rewarding is that for you?
It wouldn't define you. You wouldn't have to live your whole life based on something that happened when you were a child or whenever.
And how many people do get stuck there? Like that is heartbreaking. How many people do get stuck there? Again, like you said, understandably, of course, but the rest of your life, you know, that's for the rest of your life. You're defined by that terrible, terrible event.
Yeah, I just worked with a woman who was sex trafficked. She was 27 years old and had the worst PTSD. She couldn't leave the house. She was suicidal. Now, after less than 20 sessions, I mean, she had a lot of stuff. Normally it's, 4, 5, 10 sessions. She calls me and she goes, oh my God, this happened and that happened. And I feel so hopeful and I'm going out and I'm, and I sob. It's the only session I've ever done where I sob in the middle of it. I just can't not. I'm just so moved by her. So it's very powerful work.
It is. Amazing, powerful work. That was an amazing demonstration there. We are running out of time, so that's been incredible. Shelley, how can people find out more about you?
I told you, right? Did I warn you?
Yeah. Shelley was like, "Oh my goodness!" I can see we're going to have you back on again. Actually, that's how I'm feeling right now. Because I know we're going to get so many of our listeners are. Yeah. Well, also,
be fascinated by this
fascinated, and also how beautiful is it that you could? I'm so grateful for you working on that with me, because how beautiful that is something that was something. Oh, boom! Was something that was so important to me. Like I was. So yeah, I know that listeners are going to be like, oh my goodness, Claire and James, this is a really different kind of podcast. Can we have her back on again? Because we're going to get lots and lots of people loving this one, I can tell.
Good. And there's lots more to talk about. I could tell you the specific beliefs that underlie specific problems and like that. But here's the thing. If you go to eliminatebeliefs.com, you can eliminate a belief for free. And then if you go, oh my God, that was amazing, it will take you to a program called Natural Confidence, which is 19 of the most common self-esteem beliefs that everyone has, including mistakes and failures are bad. And what makes me good enough is having other people think well of me, and I'm not worthy, and I'm not important, and all that. So it's very reasonable. It's like $200, and it will change your life. We have thousands and thousands of testimonials. And if you're interested in sessions, of course, you can go to Lefkoe, L-E-F as in Frank, K-O-E, LefkoeInstitute.com, and it will tell you about sessions.
Awesome. We'll put those links in the show notes as well, so people can find them easily.
Goodness,
you are so gorgeous, both of you. You are so gorgeous. And I just want to tell you, if you never saw them, they're just gorgeous beings. But midlife is the chance for your second act.
Exactly.
And how many of you are in marriages where you're asleep and you stopped having sex and you stopped being juicy and you stopped creating adventures, or you're in a job for 20 years and you just get up and go through the motions, and you get up in the morning and you get dressed and you go to work and you come home and you watch TV and you fall asleep. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Life is too short.
Shelly, it is devastating when we're in the kind of work that we do, which is it's to help people be their most authentic self. That's what you said when you stood up on stage. It was like, I'm now my most authentic self. And when you have that passion and that mission, and you hear people say, the best years of my life are over, you're like, what is, this is, we've been given this gift of life. It is a beautiful opportunity. And let's not be frivolous with it. Let's look after our body. Let's look after this life that we've been given. And because it's not a dress rehearsal. It's not a dress rehearsal. And I love what you just said. Stop it. Stop it.
I want to get to the end of my life and look back. You don't want to get to the end of your life and look back and go, what was that?
Yeah.
So you want to look back and go, I came, I conquered, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Skidding out in a ball of fire, going,
blaze of glory.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally. And look up pickleball. Don't forget.
Oh, we're going to look up pickleball.
I just love the name. It's amazing. Because I one of the little phrases I've got for my friends that I love dearly is pickle. I call my friends pickle. So now I'm like, okay, I can play pickleball with my pickleball friends.
With your pickles.
With your pickles, totally.
Exactly. Shelly,
it's been amazing. Thank you so much. Please. It's such a pleasure having you on. So
please come back. We will organise another time for you to come back and continue this amazing, beautiful conversation.
It's just one of the most fun podcasts.
Thank you, Shelly. I'm sending you so much love.
Have a wonderful day over there in California.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.